Hello everybody, I'm Gryphon Gaming, and we are back with Depression Quest. It's a late Friday afternoon, and pudding time is just around the corner. A bright, clear day is giving way to a still, temperate evening. You can hear your co-workers all around you, anxiously making plans for their evening and weekends. But you're really looking forward to just going home and resting after what's turned out to be a very long and taxing work week. Just before the end of your shift, you get a call from Alex. It seems a group of your mutual friends are heading out to a nearby pub for dinner and drinks to celebrate the end of the week. They want to know if you'd like to come along. You tentatively tell her that you're emotionally exhausted from the work week, and social outing like that would be just too much to take out of you today. You encourage her to go and have a good time, since you know it's been a while since she's gone out with friends, but the effort feels futile since you know she isn't going to go without you. A couple hours later, the two of you find yourselves in a familiar position, on the couch, watching comedy shows on Netflix, a box of pizza open on the coffee table in front of you. As you look across the couch at her, you start to feel anxious. You feel bad about effectively forcing the two of you to stay in tonight. Well, yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to do that, actually. While you are always appreciative of your partner's efforts to take your feelings into account and make sure you're socially comfortable, you sincerely worry that you're holding her back from enjoying a more fulfilling relationship. While she does seem to enjoy spending time with you, as the two of you sit in comfortable, almost contented silence, watching old shows you've seen 2 or 3 times before, your ever-increasing fear that your relationship is becoming a one-sided weighs more and more heavily on you. You feel more than like a burden or a ward to her, and it's virtually impossible for you to see what value you could possibly offer in return. Worst of all, this nagging fear has made you feel more self-conscious than ever. Withdrawing ever inward, you started to pull away even from Alex herself. Okay. I would like to make it extremely clear with Alex what's going on to me. With me. I don't want her to leave me. I really want Alex to... Okay, I'm gonna tell her. You look over at Alex, who... Okay, I still like it. You look over at Alex, who hasn't noticed you watching her yet. You try to parse the expression on her face. You worry that it's one of sheer boredom and bare tolerance. You wonder if she's thinking about all the fun things she could have been doing tonight if she wasn't trapped on this couch with you. Ordering from one of the same 3 takeout places you always order from. A sense of disappointing her creeps over you as you picture what the night could have been if you had just accepted the invitation she had made earlier. I know this is a pretty boring night for you. Are you really happy with being with me? Being like this? She turns to look at you, forehead wrinkled. Why do you ask me that so often? Oh, I ask that often? No. You feel her body stiffen and pull away from yours just a little. Well, I mean... You start, but you are unable to try and think of how to answer. I want her to know that this is me feeling bad and not me not wanting to date her. So. Alex sighs. Look, if that were the case, I would let you know. I don't think you're boring. You're more of a homebody than I am. I'm learning how to deal with that. Deal with it? You think, repeating it in your mind. Does she see you as a problem to be dealt with? You try to pick apart her reply in your mind, and all confusion lead to your previous worry that you're holding her back. You begin thinking that the phrasing was chosen without too much deliberation, and that despite her attempts at reassuring you, the slip of the tongue revealed her true feelings. No, come on. As you picture how much fun she would be having right now, if you had only accepted her invitation and managed to somehow get over your reservations and anxieties, despite not knowing how you would go about that, she calls back up to you. Thanks for putting up with me, you say, staring at the TV without actually watching it. She sighs in response. God dang it. Oh wait, this actually changed though. You are deeply depressed oh, no, it got worse. Oh god, I'm not succeeding here. Oh, no. This is one of the most stressful games. It's a breezy Sunday afternoon. You've allowed Amanda, an old friend from school that is in town for the weekend, to talk to you into leaving the house for coffee and catch up. You meet her in a small cafe and talk about what you've been up to since you've last seen each other, and you can't help but feel like they are a lot more accomplished and interesting than you are while listening to them talk about their life after school. Excuse me. When it's your turn to brief them on your activities, you feel anxious and ashamed as you give a very abbreviated version. You try to talk about your job as little as possible and feel increasingly boring while you describe it, despite hearing your sincere interest in you and your life. Amanda has known you long enough to read your mood and tone of voice. She leans in to ask a question while gently touching your hand, a look of genuine concern on your face. What's wrong? Okay, so I think that I don't know. I don't know about her yet. If I won't make sure that I would rather keep her over everyone else. Goodness, my hands are shaking because I really want to be open with people, because the more open I am, the more that they can help me. And I think that other people are the best solution to depression. It's just a small question, but it feels like a blow to the gut. You surprise yourself when you realize that your tightly clenched fists are now beginning to shake slightly. Despite your best efforts, you feel tears begin to stain at your eyes. You would try to disguise this by tilting your head up and praying they'll suck it back in. They suggest that you two get out of here, and you feel mortified. She offers to go back to your apartment with you, but the two of you end up talking in her car for 2 hours, as the words just pour from you. Amanda seems unsure of what to say at times, but she listens and rubs your back as you sob and talk. She asks if you've gone to a doctor about this, and you admit that you haven't. She mentions that her mother is seeing a very good therapist in town, and she offers to ask her about it. You're not thrilled about the idea of going to a therapist, and even less so that Amanda might be telling someone about your problems, but she persists and tells you that she'll email the doctor's contact information later in the week. Okay. Good. This is going the way I want it to, I think. It's a glaringly sunny Monday, and one of the few days that your brother Malcolm is in town, and free long enough for you two to actually see each other. You have a dental appointment that day, but you make plans for him to pick you up afterward. Your appointment takes a little longer than expected because your dentist tells you that you've started grinding your teeth in your sleep to a worrying degree. Given how nearly everything in your life has been feeling enormous and stressful lately, this doesn't come as a surprise to you. He suggests that you try to reduce your stress levels and fits you for a night guard. It feels awkward and too big for your mouth, and you feel embarrassed looking at your puffed-out face in the mirror with it in. You finish up the appointment in a hurry and leave about half an hour overdue for your meeting. Your always punctual brother in the parking lot. You finish up as quickly as possible and then leave the building to scan the parking lot for your brother's car, but you don't see his old Silver anywhere. You pass by a blue Camaro and jump as it beeps at you, causing you to jump in surprise. It takes you a moment for you to realize it, but it's Malcolm in the driver's seat. You hop in the passenger seat and compliment him on his new ride, and he mentions that it's a perk of promotion that he's recently obtained at work. He started telling you about how much more money he's making, how his career is recently taking off, and how he's starting to look at houses with his wife soon. Oh dear, this is going bad. You clutch the bag containing the night guard in your hand, and you feel yourself clench your teeth as you think of your crummy apartment and how long it's been since you've been able to take the day off of work without having to worry about making ends meet. He's only 2 years older than you, but it feels like he's eons ahead of you in every other aspect of our lives. So, he asks, how did your appointment go? Did you get drilled full of holes or what? A sense of shame creeps over you. Again, I'm really going to try to force myself to talk about as much as possible here. The dentist said I'm apparently grinding my teeth too much when I sleep. Oh, Malcolm replies. Been stressed out lately, kiddo? I think I like Malcolm. I think I'm going to try to get him to support me as well. Deciding that you don't really want to go into it, you tell him that you don't think that's the case, and publish just a random thing. He doesn't pry farther, and instead begins reminiscing with you about the time you chipped a baby tooth because he accidentally knocked you over once. You go out for dinner and catch up on things, but you still feel somewhat distracted by the gnawing anxiety in the back of your mind. Though you enjoy your brother's company, you still feel like you want nothing more than to go home and hide from the world tonight. It becomes hard for you to try to stuff all your horrible feelings down and go emotionless when someone like the dentist can see a fraction of what goes on inside your head. It leaves you feeling embarrassed and weak, and you hate yourself for feeling that way. You wonder if you're really fooling anyone into thinking that you're a normal person, and then you wonder if your brother knows and is hanging out with you at a pity tonight. As he drops you off back at your apartment, you hear the night guard out. You can't even stand to look at the thing. I'm gonna have dental issues. It's a dry Sunday morning. You grab your office morning coffee and scoot your rapidly growing kitten off your office chair, and despite her protests, sit down at your desk to check your email. A new message pops up in your inbox almost as soon as you do. It's from Amanda, and you remember your meeting cafe and awkwardly bring up your feelings to her. Subject: Hey buddy. Body: Hey, sorry it's been a few weeks. I meant to get this to you sooner, but it took a while for me to get a hold of my folks back home. Dad told me to say hi, by the way. Anyway, I remember what we talked about last time I saw you, and I hope you aren't insulted. I asked my mom for the number for her therapist. Don't worry, I didn't tell her who it was for. I think she's worried about me now, though. Anyway, the number is 647-723-5274. It's a really good office, and you should look into it. Talking to someone never hurts. And if you're worried about money, don't be. They're one of the few that has a really good sliding scale fee system and won't charge you for what you can't afford. I really hope you're feeling better. It was really nice to see you again. A. It's still early enough that you could call and make an appointment today. Your kitten curls up in your lap as you consider what to do. Oh, no. Oh, God, no. I can't call him. I can't call him. This is really bad. I can't call him. Okay, I'm gonna do this one because I want a therapist. You thought of picking up the phone and calling someone about this right now is overwhelming. Sure, you're having a hard time lately and have motivation issues, but are you really in need of therapy? Shouldn't you be able to just get over it yourself? No. What if they put medication that makes you feel like a zombie? What if you go and the therapist looks down on you? What will Alex think about this? Well, with the way I'm going, I hope Alex supports this. Trying to think about all these things at once makes it feel like a very big deal, and you decide to take your time to think on it. The rest of the day passes quickly, and that night you have a hard time trying to sleep because your brain is too busy thinking about all these things, and imagining all the ways it could go horribly wrong. The next morning you check your email again with the blurry eye sand and a mewing kitten. Amanda's email is still there, seemingly waiting for you. You are no more decided than you were yesterday. What now? Oh, okay, yes, I can finally call. I can call. Okay. You read through Amanda's email 2 or 3 times, then sit and stare at your computer for a while. While the memory of that uncomfortable conversation makes you feel newly embarrassed and self-conscious, part of you is also encouraged by the fact that she cared enough to get back at you at all. Sitting in front of your computer, you start to question things like whether or not Amanda sent this to you out of pity, or perhaps some sense of obligation after having listened to you. You question her motives and the validity of her concern, and whether or not you think seeing a therapist would be helpful. Almost unconsciously, you reach for your phone, and before you realize what's happening, you listen to the therapist's line ring. Before you can bring to hang yourself up, you listen to the slightly cynical but not unpleasant voice of the receptionist ask how she can help you. I'd like to make an appointment with the doctor. You manage to stammer out. The conversation is quick and not nearly as unpleasant as you were fearing, and quicker than you could say Freudian slip. you schedule an appointment. Quicker than you realize, appointment day rolls around. What do you do? We will figure out what we do. Now, actually, I'll save what I do later. Okay, let's see. Head of therapist's office. Sit in your terrified. No, we must go to the therapist. And we will continue this next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.